Today we'll look at several different methods available in Simcenter 3D to move objects. Some methods will preserve full associativity to the master model, shown in green, and are recommended as a best practice. Others will maintain geometry associativity, shown in yellow, but will not maintain component position associativity to the master assembly. One method, in the AFEM using node translate, will freeze all updates to the affected meshes and won't allow any further updates until the mesh is unfrozen. We'll look at all these options in the following demonstration. We'll begin in an assembly finite element model that we created in an earlier demonstration. Here we have a component finite element model of an electronic box and its associated CAD master part. This is where we'll use one of our best practice methods to move objects. We'll go to the modeling application, and then we'll use the move object command. Here we can select one of the bodies in our component master model, specify a translation vector, and then a distance to move the object. This will maintain full associativity through the component finite element model, as well as the assembly finite element model. Here we can see the component on the board has a lumped mass at CG that was created from it. And if we update the finite element model, we can see that that lumped mass and connection to the board have both updated. And we can verify that that's updated in our assembly finite element model. Alright, that looks good. Next we'll look at the best practice for moving components if we have an assembly. We'll go to the assembly master model. We'll also go to the modeling application. And then in the assembly navigator, we can select move component. And here this will change the component's position in the assembly. So if we were to go to the component finite element model, we'd see that there are no updates pending. The only place where we have an update pending is in the assembly finite element model, which is on the position of that component finite element model within the assembly finite element model. Now let's go ahead and reopen everything to reset our assembly. And next we'll look at how we can reposition master within the Idealize part. Alright, so if we go to the Idealize part of our component finite element model, in the simulation navigator we can select reposition master. Then we'll select the component and then we can move it. Now this will drive a component finite element model update. Here we can go ahead and update our component finite element model, but that will not drive an update to our assembly finite element model, but we'll see that position change reflected in our assembly finite element model, but we will not see that change, of course, reflected in our master assembly. So let's go ahead and reset our assembly by reopening all modified parts. And we'll take a look at our next method to move objects in the AFEM, where we'll use node translate. All right, not sure why we have an update pending. It doesn't look like anything is updated. But let's go to the Node and Element ribbon, and here we'll go to Node Translate. Here we can select what we want to move. Here we'll select the entire model, and we'll move it by distance, 4 inches in the Y. And what you'll notice is the finite element model now is disassociated from the geometry. You'll also notice that all of the meshes are locked. This means that if there are any geometry or assembly position changes, they will not update the mesh unless we first unlock the meshes. All right, let's go ahead and reset our model by reopening all of the modified parts. And then we'll look at some of the methods that we have to move component finite element models in the assembly finite element model. The first is position component by CSys, which is covered in a lot more detail in this video. But here we need to first associate it to a coordinate system to make other methods available to move component finite element models in the assembly finite element model. So here we've associated our FADEC component to CSys number 5, and if we edit the position of CSys 5, what you'll see is that our component finite element model will follow the change in position of CSys number 5, because that's driving the position of our component finite element model. Now if we take a look, we can see now there's some new methods. Move component to global, position component by CSys, which was there earlier, and move component. So here we can move the component using a number of different methods. Here we're using dynamic. There's also many other methods we could use as well. And lastly, there's move to global, which will move the component to the origin, not its assembly position. And of course, if we go back to the master assembly, you'll see that those positions are not reflected by the component position in the master assembly. So here, let's go ahead and reset our assembly again by closing and reopening all modified parts. And we'll look at one last method to be able to move objects in the sim. So here we have the ability to move component, but this will move the entire assembly finite element model or component finite element model. This can be helpful if we have an axisymmetric model that needs to be in a specific plane to solve correctly. Also, you'll notice that this change does not affect the orientation in the assembly finite element model. It's only changed in the sim. And of course also the change is not reflected in the master CAD assembly. There are many methods that are available to move objects in Simcenter 3D, and it's important to understand which methods preserve associativity and which do not.